Hello and good afternoon, everyone from Brighton University. I'm delighted to be part of the Graduate Futures programme today. Hopefully you've learnt lots from the other webinars and speakers so far today. And I'm going to add some new information for you to help you enter the workplace. I'm entitled Using Recruitment Agencies. So, first of all, my name's Dan Hawes. I'm the GRB co-founder. GRB stands for Graduate Recruitment Bureau. We've become the go-to platform for high caliber university students, graduates and recruiters. We were established back in 1997 by two graduates, one of them being me and the other being a colleague called Chris. We both went to Brighton University. We did business studies and graduated in 1994. We've now grown steadily. We have over 40 staff. Quite a few of them are from Brighton University, Sussex University and others. And we have over 1,800 clients across all sectors. Companies you will have heard of, such as the Post Office, IBM, Unilever and Ocado, to name but a few, but also several fast-growing SMEs, or small to medium enterprises. And these clients tend to go below the radar with a lot of graduates. They are growing, they need high caliber graduates to reach their growth objectives, but sometimes they struggle to get seen and get noticed. So that's why they use GRB. Now, our team of 40 recruitment experts have actually successfully matched over 8,000 graduates, all with full-time graduate level jobs. Now, needless to say, the jobs market has changed considerably. These are just some of the snippets of headlines over the last few months that we've seen, and we understand how difficult it is for university students at the moment, and also people about to enter the workforce as graduates. So the first article there was a few months ago in the FT, and they were just trying to identify what are the job prospects looking like for the class of 2020. So you might want to have a look at that. There are some positive things that they picked up on. Also in the BBC, it was widely reported that a lot of universities, as we start the new term, will be delivering their seminars and lectures remotely, which completely changes the entire experience for university students when they won't have a lot of the social interaction that are one of the huge benefits of going to university. So that's completely changed. It's upside down for the foreseeable future, and many universities are now delivering these programs virtually. Another article there from The Guardian, employers are slashing graduate jobs. That's quite a dramatic headline. There have been companies who've had to reduce their intake or put things on hold. But in some cases, particularly with IT firms, the pandemic has actually accelerated their growth. So there are certain sectors that are recruiting through this downturn at the moment. And finally, some of the concerns amongst 15 to 29-year-olds during this pandemic. Obviously, one of the highest ones is employment. And I guess for the younger segment of that survey, it's part-time jobs and working in bars, restaurants and shops. They've been hit massively. So the knock-on effect is a lot of students haven't been able to earn money on a part-time basis, build their CV. And in some cases, this has affected internships and placements, which is such a key part of the first rung of the career ladder for a lot of university students. So an overview there of some of the headlines we've noticed at GRB, and obviously we've been having many graduates calling into us, emailing us, contacting us via our website, needing a lot of reassurance actually about their next steps into the workplace. So we understand what it's like. We have been through downturns before, obviously not of this scale, but we'd like to give you some reassurance about using recruitment agencies in particular to make that transition into the workplace. So, using recruitment agencies. I'll go through some of the points here, and if you do have any questions, feel free to use the chat box within MS Teams. As Liz mentioned at the start, this will be recorded, so you will be able to view this again on demand. And we're hopefully going to reach other students and graduates that couldn't check in today. So, first of all, you need to choose a recruitment agency that is going to be the most relevant for you. So, choose a few. Find out their success rate. So, explain to them what you're looking for, your background, the degree you've studied, your work experience, and your skill set. And ask them to let you know what has been their hit rate in placing people like you. Hopefully they'll be honest and they'll say, yes, we place lots of graduates like you, or maybe we don't have many opportunities for you right now. So interview them as much as possible to identify the most appropriate recruitment agency to register with, because essentially it's the start of a relationship. So it's very important you start off with the right agency. Now, in some cases, this might be a specialist agency. If you're looking to join a very particular industry sector, I would certainly look at a specialist recruitment agency. Or if you are looking for maybe temporary work or office work in general, there are many high street recruitment agencies that you will have heard of, such as Manpower or Reed. And they're perfect for finding those kind of roles. And a lot of recruiters will actually use those big name recruitment agencies to find candidates. So it really depends on what kind of role you're looking to start with as to what agency you approach. Ask around, find out from your friends, family, speak to your university career service. And also you may want to see which agencies are accredited to the REC. That stands for the Recruitment and Employment Confederation. So that's the professional body for recruitment agencies. And members of the REC have to adhere to certain codes of practice, and that carries some weight. So if you're members of the REC, that gives you a seal of approval. And of course, Google's your friend, so you'll find lots of agencies out there. So that's the starting point, is to do some research, find out the most appropriate one for the kind of roles you're looking for. Number two, you're going to have to register. So by and large, this will be a CV request, or it may be an online form. And in some cases, it might actually be an in-person appointment, although that may have changed now. But many agencies might be doing Skype appointments instead of face-to-face. So they will need as much information on you as possible. So give them as much as they need. They need to look at your skill set, because invariably they'll be using a piece of technology that will match your skill set with what an employer is looking for, and then shortlist people based on that information. Some will use keyword searches. So just be mindful of how the technology is working, because that will be used by the consultants to shortlist people. But ultimately, the idea is to give them as much information about you and enable the consultancy to do their job at the fullest potential. Three, it's a common misconception, but recruitment agencies do not charge candidates, so it's free to you. The way they earn their money is recruiters pay them to find you. So there's nothing that's deducted from your pay. If you've temped before, they work out the rate on an hourly basis. But if it's a full-time permanent role, they'll work out the fee based on a percentage of your salary, but nothing's deducted from your salary. Okay, so just remember, all the services provided by a recruitment agency should be entirely free of charge. Number four, one of the big advantages of using a recruitment agency is a PSL. If you haven't heard of that, that's a preferred supplier list. Now, what a lot of recruitment agencies try and do is get on the PSL of a big name employer. This means when that employer needs a graduate or a certain type of individual, they'll already have a shortlist of preferred suppliers. So if that agency has that relationship, you have got basically exclusivity with access to certain clients that the recruitment agency working with. And that makes a huge difference. So instead of sending your CV directly to that employer, which you may get caught up in the queue of all the other CVs, by using an agency, you'll actually get fast-tracked straight through to the decision maker or the selector's desk. So that will save you huge amounts of time, and you're tapping into that relationship that a recruitment agency has worked hard to secure. Number 5, I think a big reason to use recruitment agencies is access to the hidden jobs market. Now, I mentioned before, we work with several SMEs or medium-sized firms. Now, they maybe they're not quite in the Premier League yet. You may not be aware of them. Some of them are startups, for instance, but they desperately need graduates, and they do go below the radar for a lot of graduates. Many graduates will go to the obvious big name recruiters, but certain recruitment agencies will work with lots of other recruiters that you may not have heard of. And they need to use recruitment agencies for that reason. They just don't get any awareness, they don't get any CVs, and they struggle. And they have fantastic opportunities. So this hidden jobs market comes about for a number of reasons, as I said, because their awareness is not very great. They may have a shortfall, they may have actually tried to recruit people, but they've had offers turned down. So they need people quickly. A new project may have come in, or they may have had some funding all of a sudden. So last minute recruitment needs to take place. So they need to use an agency quickly to access their candidates. The role may be a graduate level job, but it may not be on a scheme. And again, these kind of roles aren't so obvious for graduates. They're all looking at training schemes or management programs, but there are many, many jobs that require a degree that fall outside of official graduate training programs. And in some cases, recruiters are doing it for the very first time, and they need the help of an agency. So by using a recruitment agency, you should be able to access huge numbers of companies you may never have heard of. Now, all their experts will be able to give you help. It's in their interests to find you work. They will get paid commission on the people that they place. So it's very important to them that whoever they shortlist, they want to make sure that they are the best prepared candidate for interview. The CV is absolutely the best version of that individual. They are fully prepared for assessment centres, and they are well versed in psychometric tests. So recruitment agencies will make you the best prepared person when you go forward for one of their clients. So that's very important, and something you may not get if you apply yourself. You get all this useful information, particularly things like feedback from previous candidates who've been through the process. They'll be able to tell you what kind of questions that they ask you. Maybe there's some trick questions at the end, or certain things to do on the day. Maybe simple things like the office is quite hard to find, so they'll give you as much information as possible to reduce any worries or feelings that you're not going to be prepared. More recently, we've had lots of clients who've had to shift their assessments and interviews remotely. So recruitment consultants will be able to prepare you about how to perform in a virtual scenario, virtual interviews, virtual assessment days. These are becoming increasingly popular. So if you've never done one before, they may put you through a mock virtual interview beforehand, before the real thing. So I think there's a lot of advice, useful guidance to make you extremely well prepared for when you go for these particular roles. Now, when you've gone through the process and the recruitment agency has done the best possible effort in convincing the employer to take you on, hopefully you'll get a job offer, which is brilliant. Not only is that good news, but the recruitment consultant will also be able to start negotiations for you, which you may not feel comfortable doing at this stage, but the recruitment consultant will be doing this for several candidates. Because they're getting paid commission, it's very important to them that they get the best salary for you. So there's a win-win situation. But also they'll look at all your other contractual terms, make sure there's nothing in there that's unusual. So they'll make you aware of all the contractual issues and terms, and make sure that when you start with the employer, you're fully clued up and you're ready to go. So I think that's an often forgotten advantage of using recruitment agencies, is the kind of the after the job offer service. They'll probably check in with you maybe after your first 3 months, your probation period. Again, they don't want you to leave the company for whatever reason, so maybe they'll check in with you throughout your probation just to make sure everything's okay, and make sure that you're settling in. Now, feedback. If you are unsuccessful, they will try and give you as much feedback as possible. We realise how important that is for graduates who are going for graduate level schemes, programs and jobs. You know, they are quite challenging, and sometimes people get caught out. So it's very important that you get as much feedback as possible. And good recruitment agencies will do that. As I said before, it's in their interests to make sure for next time that you have this feedback. Now, it does depend on whether the client gives the recruitment agency the feedback, of course. So it really depends on how they are prepared to do this, because it can be very time consuming if certain recruiters are dealing with hundreds or thousands of people going through the process. So it's not always a top priority, unfortunately. But if you can get feedback, that is extremely good. But we realise it doesn't happen as often as we'd like. And finally, as I said at the start, this is the start of a relationship, because not only will this recruitment agency be helping you find your first job, but they'll also be able to track your career from then on. And they may have other divisions within that organisation that will help you with your next role, maybe 3, 4, 5 years down the line. And because they know you, and you've told them the kind of career progression that you're looking to take, they'll be there in the background, ready for when you're there to make the next step. And they'll introduce some excellent opportunities for you down the line. So this is very short and sweet, just to give you a snapshot of 9 reasons why using recruitment agencies can really help you land that first graduate job. Now, obviously, we're a recruitment agency. We've been doing this for 23 years, and we're here to help graduates. So we're a specialist recruitment agency, and we'd be delighted to help any Brighton University graduate who needs to get work, or use our website. There's plenty of information on there about CVs, interviews, assessment centres, that kind of thing. But I'd like to bring to your attention, finally, a campaign we've called Help the COVID Generation. Now, graduatementor.uk is part of this campaign. So this has been an idea we've had maybe for the last 10 years or so. But now we've decided to launch Graduate Mentor because we think the timing is right to give as many graduates as possible one-to-one career advice. Now, this is entirely free. We've got 60 mentors who are either inspiring business leaders, university career staff, university alumni, or actually professional coaches or mentors. And they've all signed up to give 1 hour's free advice over the phone, over Zoom or Teams, for as many graduates as possible. So we're delighted to launch Graduate Mentor, give you that extra help that you may need, and give you the reassurance that entering the jobs market in a recession is hard, but there is plenty of support out there, and certainly many recruiters that are looking to snap up graduates right now. I hope that's helped. If you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat facility. I'll just see if anyone has.
Thank you, Dan. That was really useful information that I didn't actually know about the preferred supplier lists and the fact that we can get to jobs that only you guys can see. It's not stuff that you'd be able to find yourself in other places. So it's a really valuable resource. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hopefully that's helped. This has been recorded, so you know, we'll be able to reach other students and graduates through your channels at Brighton University. And as I say, we're there if anyone needs to get any extra advice from me or the rest of the team. Do give us a call. We'd love to see people face to face, but that's probably not practical right now. But we can certainly speak to you over the phone, email, or chat to us on our website. We'll be more than happy to help you.
Have you got somewhere that you've, should we put something in the chat with contact details for you?
Yep.
So people can pop in, you know, have a look at your contact details in this chat.
Absolutely. I'll put our website in there now.
Perfect.
I'll put our phone number, and that'll give you access to anyone in the team. And we have specialist teams of different sectors. So, you know, if you're looking to get into IT, engineering, marketing, sales, recruitment itself, we cover most sectors. So there'll be someone on the team here to give you a steer and to help you find jobs. But obviously with the career service as well and what you're doing today, it will move you forward and help you enter the world of work.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.